Welcome, friends. Today, we're doing another fragrance rotation video. Outrageous. So, you may or may not know that I have the virus, the famous virus. You know? The plague that shall not be named. I have lost my sense of smell and taste pretty profoundly, but I have been able to pick up the smells of a few things. Don't get us wrong, not well, you know what I mean? It's not like my nose is like proper in tune or anything like that, but it's not gone, forever gone, I don't think, because I can still pick up like impressions and like the shadow of a fragrance, do you know what I mean? My sense of taste, though, that is just, I can get sweet and salty and that's it, you know? Crazy. But hopefully I'm over the worst of it now. It tried to move onto my chest, the rascal, which is what the doctor said it would do. Apparently the virus doesn't necessarily cause that much damage in and of itself now. What it does is it leaves you wide open to a bacterial infection, and that's what's happened to me. Fortunately, I was actually on antibiotics before I was on the antivirals, so I seem to have headed that one off at the pass. You know, I feel like I've done all right, actually, all things considered. Certainly compared to some other people, so I am feeling rather fortunate. So even though I'm not well, I'm in good spirits. But anyway, I didn't know whether to do this video. In fact, I didn't know whether to bother wearing any fragrances, but I thought, bollocks, I've got these fragrances. I can't really afford to miss a day of wearing them, to be honest with you. So here we are. I have 7 perfumes, a couple of which I didn't smell at all. Nothing. Right? The rest of them I got at least something from them, you know. And we shall start, as we always do, at the beginning. And on Monday, I wore Fille Aiguilles. This is Monday the 26th. I should have said, and I usually do, this is a fragrance rotation video for the week ending the 1st of January 2023. Woof. Anyway, this is Fille Aiguilles by Serge Lutens. Absolutely magnificent. Can I smell this? Let's have a little whiff. So I can sort of get that kind of green, piney sap, apple kind of vibe that you get, you know, from this. I know I said apple there, but it's like this green, nature's bounty, foresty kind of thing going on, you know. Absolutely magnificent. Don't really get much incense from it as of now, simply because my nose is completely double fucked. But I love this stuff. It is truly it's a proper Christmassy, wintry fragrance, this. Beautiful perfume. Sappy. Smells like a bit like a fire, like a nice fire. Not the kind that burns the house down, you know, like a nice little controlled fire. And that's what I wore on Monday when my symptoms started. Tuesday, I wasn't very well at all. And I wanted something comforting. I wanted something soft. I wanted something that wasn't like silly or like synthetic or rude. Very well behaved and very good quality. And this was what I decided, and I only wore one spray of this. This is Belle from Les Abstraits. Irisy, billowous, cloudy, a little bit warm, soft. It's got this kind of, you know, that thing that cats do when they press their paws against something, you know, like backwards and forwards, like the shadow boxing. It's got that kind of cloudy kind of vibe, you know. It's that is what I wore on Tuesday. Wednesday. Yeah, I can sort of get like the shadow of the fragrance is the best way I can put it. It's not like defined. It's not like I'm describing my ability to smell here, not the actual smells themselves. So it's starting to come back. I've been fucking imbibing zinc like you wouldn't believe. 40 milligrams a day. It's a lot of zinc. Anyway, on Wednesday, I wore Chanel's Coromandel. This is patchouli, chocolatey. It's got that almost white chocolate, milky sort of vibe thing going on, you know. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. I've drank so much water this week, you wouldn't believe. The doctor was like, make sure you stay hydrated. I was like, oh, can't try it, doctor. If anything, I need to fucking settle down with how much water I drink. But yes, this is Coromandel. It's, again, soft, comforting, warm. I didn't really smell this at the time, if I'm being perfectly honest. I can smell it a lot better now. And again, it's sort of like the aftertaste I'm getting, you know. Couldn't tell you what the performance was like. I haven't really worn as much of this as, like, people are like, oh, this is my favourite Les exclusive. This is very different as a Chanel. This is more of a Christopher Sheldrake than it is a Chanel perfume, you know. I mean, it fits the aesthetic. It's just very different. To sit in the same way that Leon doesn't really fit the Chanel aesthetic, you know. But here we are. It works. It fits. It sort of gets away with it. But it's very like, it's like Chanel from another dimension, you know. I think a lot of the Les exclusives smell very samey, if I'm being perfectly honest. This stands out a mile. Like Sycamore, like Le Leon. Sorry if I'm not making much sense. I'm fucking... me fucking mind's still not fucking right. I've got the fog. Anyway, on Thursday I wore something I couldn't smell at all. Not a bean. Not a single thing. Fortunately, I've just taken a whiff of it there. And I'm getting bits of it. Like I say, the shadow. And this is Fahrenheit Absolute. One of the great flankers. And not just of Fahrenheit, just generally. This is one of, if not Dimashi's best perfume for Dior. It's right up there in the top 3. I mean, he made some decent stuff like Queer Canage and Ambre Noir and Leather Oud, Oud Ispahan, Eau Sauvage Parfum. You know, he made some good stuff. It wasn't all a complete shit show. And the stuff that hit hard, you know. And this is one of them for me. This is one of the best flankers of any perfume I've smelled. Myrrh. I remember Robes Away. I mean, I've talked about this before. Robes Away once described this as the devil's juice, you know, with a bit of myrrh, a bit of incense, the violet leaf. So it smells like someone extremely cool on fire. You know what I mean? It's a fantastic perfume. I absolutely love it. And I'm glad I can actually get a whiff there. So this is what I wore on Thursday. Friday, I went for something completely different, and I could not smell this one atom, not a single thing. And to be honest, I wasn't really that bothered because I don't think it's the world's greatest fragrance. I think it's pretty bland. And this is Grand Soir by Francis Curtijon. I think this isn't a reference amber. It's an amber referenced. You know, it's like the most middle of the road, plain, simple, forgettable. It's not monotonous, but it's totally forgettable fragrance, from what I can remember anyway, because I couldn't smell it. Sorry for sniffling and shit. So yeah, it's for me, it's just like a vanillic amber. It's like, again, I compare all ambers to Amber Sultan, and I'm yet to find one really that actually does compare. You know, it's a shame, but there we are. I'll wear this, but I won't be buying another bottle. It's pleasant, don't get us wrong. I'm not saying it's shit. I'm just saying it's eminently forgettable. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Yesterday, when I realised I couldn't smell much, I got a little worried, and I thought, oh God, at what point am I going to be able to smell anything ever again? Because look at all the fragrances I've bought. Have I just wasted the last fucking 20 years of my life? I haven't. Even if I could never smell anymore, I would. I don't feel as though I've wasted that time collecting fragrances. Think of everything that I've done in all that time. The places I've been, the people I've met. It's been a well worthwhile experience. But this fragrance I wanted to wear just to make sure I could still smell it, because if I couldn't, I'd be ready for taking away and locking up. And this is, of course, Balenciaga Pour Homme, the last fragrance I wore of 2022. I'm getting closer and closer to being able to say this is my favourite fragrance ever. Now, a lot of you would say, well, obviously it is, but I don't know that I necessarily want to say it or that I'm ready to say it, because I love all these different fragrances in lots of different ways. It's just this one more, you know. I do love this stuff. Patchouli, oak moss, cinnamon, warm, spice, fresh, a little bit dirty, a little bit clean, a little bit fruity. Got this like plummy, what's it called? Like plummy kind of blackberry kind of blackcurrant sort of vibe at the top. Very, very fucking interesting, very complex. The performance is massive. And actually, when I sprayed this on yesterday, I only put one spray on, and when I sprayed it on, it was the first thing I'd smelled for about 3 days. And when I say smell, I mean very faintly. And I was like, oh God. I was like, there is something. And I was like, well, if there was anything that was going to bring us back, it was going to be this, you know. This would like reach down at the pit of my soul and say, no, you are not getting away. Come back and love me. And so here I am. I do love this shit, absolutely. You know. I love the bottle. I love the smell. I love the built-in sprayer. It's just everything about it. It's just amazing, you know. What a fragrance. I don't know what the fuck Balenciaga are playing at though with that fucking child thing. That can fuck right off. We'll have to separate the art from the artist in this case. I mean, it was 30 years before the fact, you know what I mean? So, a bit hard to blame Balenciaga Pour Homme, but fuck Balenciaga. Weird. Anyway, today's scent of the day. Today's scent of the day is something else that I was able to get a smell of. Thank God. And this is Andy Towers' Lonestar Memories. I wore this because I was intent on playing on the PlayStation today. I wanted to play Red Dead Redemption, and my controllers have started acting funny bastards. deciding that they don't have any battery when they've been on charge for fucking weeks. But that's the noise you can hear in the background. The PlayStation just... I've managed to get it so that it's charging up the battery a little bit, so... Hopefully I haven't fucked it. That would be... I'd be wounded if that was the case. As you can see, shit's falling apart. Everywhere I go, but not to worry. This is vetiver, leather, oil, smoke. It got some overtones of this about it, you know. It really does remind us. And what these two fragrances have in common is the notes of vetiver and leather. I think when you put strong vetiver and strong leather in with each other, you get this kind of medicinal, smoky, bandagey, antiseptic, clean kind of vibe, you know, but like in a chemically sort of way. You know, like Pear's soap, that kind of thing. It's amazing. I don't know why, but I really love it. This just totally reminds me of Red Dead. This is the fragrance I wore when I bought that game and was playing that game to fuck, and it will always remind us of that time, and it was brilliant. Absolutely love it. Fantastic fragrance. Anyhow, this has been my fragrance rotation for the week ending the 1st of January 2023. Happy New Year. I hope you've all had a good week. I hope you all have a nice New Year, and I will see you all again soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye.